grade. So today we are going to be on Stuart Little novel study, day 6, and we're reading chapter 7 called The Sailboat Race. So I will read half of it to you and then you can read the rest of it yourself, and then you're going to complete the chapter 7 response page and also a Stuart Little character chart where you're going to describe different character traits that he has and also where you found those character traits, what told you that he had those character traits. So if you aren't quite finished with your opinion writing, maybe this will help you think about extra things that could form your opinion of Stuart Little and what type of character that you think he is. So, the sailboat race. When the people in Central Park learned when the people of Central Park learned that one of the toy sailboats was being steered by a mouse in a sailor suit, they all came running. Soon, the shores of the pond were so crowded that a policeman was sent from headquarters to announce that everybody would have to stop pushing. But nobody did. People in New York like to push each other. The most excited person of all was the boy who owned the Lillian B. Womrath. He was a fat, sulky boy of 12 named Leroy. He wore a blue serge suit and a white necktie stained with orange juice. "Come back here," he called to Stuart. "Come back here and get on my boat. I want you to steer my boat. I will pay you $5 a week and you can have every Thursday afternoon off and a radio in your room." "I thank you for your kind offer," replied Stuart, "but I am happy aboard the Wasp, happier than I have ever been before in all my life." And with that, he spun the wheel over smartly and headed his schooner down towards the starting line, where Leroy was turning his boat around by poking it with a long stick, ready for the start of the race. "I'll be the referee," said a man in a bright green suit. "Is the Wasp ready?" "Ready, sir," shouted Stuart, touching his hat. "Is the Lillian B. Womrath ready?" asked the referee. "Sure, I'm ready," said Leroy. "To the north end of the pond and back again," shouted the referee. "On your mark, get set, go." "Go," cried the people along the shore. "Go," cried the owner of the Wasp. "Go," yelled the policeman. And away went the two boats for the north end of the pond, while the seagulls wheeled and cried overhead and the taxi cabs tooted and honked. From 72nd Street and the west wind, which had come halfway across America to get Central Park, sang and whistled in the rigging and blew spray across the decks, stinging Stuart's cheeks with tiny fragments of flying peanut shell tossed up from the foamy deep. "This is the life for me," Stuart murmured to himself. "What a ship! What a day! What a race!" Before the two boats had gone many feet, however, an accident happened on shore. The people were pushing each other harder and harder in their eagerness to see the sport, and although they really didn't mean to, they pushed the policeman so hard that they pushed him right off the concrete wall into the pond. He hit the water in a sitting position and got wet clear up to the third button of his jacket. He was soaked. This particular policeman was not only a big, heavy man, but he had just eaten a big, heavy meal, and the wave he made went curling outwards, cresting and bellowing, upsetting all manner of small craft and causing every owner of a boat on the pond to scream with delight and consternation. When Stuart saw the great wave approaching, he jumped for the rigging, but he was too late. Towering above the Wasp like a mountain, the wave came crashing and piling along the deck, caught Stuart up and swept him over the side and into the water, where everybody was supposed that he would drown. Stuart had no intention of drowning. He kicked hard with his feet and thrashed hard with his tail, and in a minute or two he climbed back aboard the schooner, cold and wet, but quite unharmed. As he took his place at the helm, he could hear people cheering for him and calling, "Atta-mouse, Stuart, atta-mouse." He looked over and saw that the wave had capsized the Lillian B. Womrath, but that she had righted herself and was sailing on her course, close by. As she stayed close alongside till both boats reached the north end of the pond, "Here, Stuart," put the Wasp about, and Leroy turned the Lillian around with a stick, and away the two boats went for the finish line. "This race isn't over yet," thought Stuart. The first warning he had that there was trouble ahead came when he glanced into the Wasp's cabin and observed that the barometer had fallen sharply. That can mean only one thing at sea: dirty weather. Suddenly, a dark cloud swept across the sun, blotting it out and leaving the earth in a shadow. Stuart shivered in his wet clothes. He turned up his sailor blouse closer to his neck, and when he spied the Wasp's owner among the crowd on shore, he waved his hat and called out, "Dirty weather ahead, sir. Wind backing into the southwest. Seas confused. Glass falling." "Never mind the weather," cried the owner. "Watch out for flotsam dead ahead." Stuart peered ahead into the gathering storm, but saw nothing except gray waves with white crests. The world seemed cold and ominous. Stuart glanced behind him. There came the sloop, boiling along fast, rolling up a bow wave and gaining steadily. What's gonna happen? Woo! This is a good chapter. So go ahead and read the rest of that on your own. See what happens in the race. See if he makes it, if he wins. And write your response page and the character chart. So see you later.